Welcome to another episode of TVAndR, and we've reached 1,000 subscribers. Well, over 1,000. So shout out to everybody who has subscribed. Please do press that subscribe button. Let's grow the numbers. Let's grow the knowledge. People always complaining, open up the industry. I'm like, I'm trying to do that. And I'm excited today because we're speaking to one of the very few, and I don't want to introduce her as a female cinematographer, but she's given me permission. One of the very few female cinematographers in the world. Did you hear me? In the whole world. So you might have questions around what is a cinematographer. She'll answer that. How does one even become a cinematographer? She'll answer that. Ladies and gentlemen, the incredible Gaopie Kabe will be in the building. Remember to always comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know which guests you'd like me to have on the show. But without any further ado, welcome to TVAndR. This is TVAndR. Please welcome Gaopie Kabe. Hello.
Hi,
Welcome to the show.
thank you so much. Yay.
Great to have you. I know you're a businesswoman, and a busy woman, but I mean, I'm sure you're a businesswoman too. I explained to you that the point of the podcast is to educate young people and, for people who are already in the industry, just to have conversations around the current state of the industry as it stands. But I want to start literally from the beginning. What is a cinematographer for those that don't know?
So with simple terms, a cinematographer is the person that's in charge of the camera and lighting department. That's the chief of how the actors end up looking.
So if you don't like us, then you're making us look horrible, basically.
There is apparently that thing about cinematographer. You can always tell, when the cinematographer likes a certain character.
Really? It is true. It is true. No, it is true. It is. I've never thought of it that way, but it is true. Like the actors you like get the good shots, like the extreme close-ups, but then the ones where their faces are framed right. And if a tear drops, you make sure you catch the tear. I see you guys. So basically, if you're an actor, make friends with the DOP.
That's some great advice. That's some really great advice.
How does one even begin to be a DOP? Like, where on earth do you wake up and decide that's what I'm going to do?
I think getting into cinematography has got so many ways. I've listened to a lot of DP, a lot of podcasts with DPs from everywhere in the world, and everybody's journey has been so different. Some people knew when they were young because through influence of family, and somebody would have been in the business and they would know about film. Some people come at it from photography, so they would have been doing photography before and bump into cinematography along the lines. People study for it. You can go to school, study, get a degree for it. And some people like myself
Yes.
get bump into cinematography.
How do you bump into cinematography? I mean, born and raised in Soweto. I mean, I'm from Soweto. Your neighbor's not says, no, I was going to DOP. I'm on my way to DOP. You don't hear of those people ever. You don't hear your neighbor or your uncle's friend saying, I'm a DOP or I'm a cinematographer. We're not raised around that. And when we're watching TV, we forget that there's someone shooting the thing that the people are doing. So we're not exposed to the idea that the career or, the career even exists. Where did you find it?
How I came across cinematography in grade 11, we had an excursion, a school trip to the Fat Joe Studios.
What school makes you go watch the Fat Joe show?
No, no. I mean, we were young adults. You know, I mean, the content was not.
Okay.
You know, he was a
Fat
bit
Joe
of
was
a,
milder. He was milder back in the day, maybe.
he was milder back in the day. That was like the first season, you know.
Yeah.
So he wasn't as hectic as
Okay.
later on.
Yes.
But we're there as extras, and at that time, I mean, we're like 17, so we're not like babies.
Okay. Okay. So you arrive and you're overwhelmed.
Yeah, I arrived there and I just saw all these cameras, all these lights, all the people who busy, floor managers,
Hey.
makeup people, standby people, props. And I was just like, what is this world?
Yeah.
And literally a new door was open, and that's where the journey started.
And then you found yourself off to Boston Media House to go study this thing.
Yeah, like in that year, I think it was towards the end of grade 11. I had been applying to go study mechanical engineering.
Woo! Wow.
And then I sort of it was mechanical engineering, or I wanted to do something in the sports, you know.
Like what?
Because I was playing football at the same time.
Okay.
So I was like, can I study physiotherapy?
Okay.
Something along those lines, you know? Like, that's what I applied for.
Well, we're glad that didn't work out, because, I mean, you've gone on to do, you know, some incredible work, Healthline, The Hustle, Thula's Vine, Side Dish, Because You're Black, Measure of a Woman. Are you currently shooting, am I allowed to say, I mean, it's on your IMDb, so, I mean, you're shooting Valedictory. It's on there.
Yeah, no, so that's happened already.
Oh, it's
that's done. That's post-production.
Yeah.
Because of COVID and the pandemic, the release of it had to be moved out, like a lot of other things. So the release date is still to be confirmed, but it'll probably be sometime next year.
Well, we look forward to it. Work we have seen you do, and all of South Africa can't stop talking about it. Lockdown, amazing, just incredible. And I was told by Losha that everyone, all the departments, well, the HODs at least, were all female.
Yes, so from season 1, yeah, from the get, the production house, Black Brain, went with a decision to get a female HODs, you know.
Yeah.
And I think because of the subject matter, because it was a very sensitive story that mainly a female cast. So I think it was very important that the cast are made very comfortable. Especially because in that first season, yes, it was hardcore, you know, it was.
I mean, in all
like,
the seasons.
Yeah, in all the seasons,
yeah.
But for SATV, like, it was what happens in a female prison. And I was not ready.
Yeah. What shocked you the most? Why do you say you weren't ready? What was it that was like, whoa, what am I doing?
No, the amount of violence that happens in female prisons. I think it's in prisons anyway, but I was not, like, I had a bit of a, like, oh, okay, I guess it would be violent.
Yeah.
But the extent at which it goes into, I mean, some of our background artists were previously, like, they were inmates. So these guys, yeah, so they would tell us,
watch my camera. We should not take my camera.
There were people that
okay.
But
you never know, eh? Just like rather safe than. I'm joking.
Yeah, no, but they would tell us, you know, they would tell us, like, yo, you guys are doing that so wrong. No, that's not how things.
Like what? Like what?
Oh, like their bedtime, you know, like they wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. You know, this is what I was not aware. Like a day in a life of an inmate.
Yeah,
it is so short, but so long at the same time, because they would wake up super early, you know, and they would have to be called in and locked locked down at like 4:00 in the
Hectic.
afternoon. So your day ends by 4:00 in the afternoon. So you never get to see sunset. Like
Wow.
you know, so you would be waking up while it's dark, and then
Sure.
start. So it's like a lot of things. Just even treatment, even the different bosses and levels
Yeah.
within the prison system.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Speaking of
Very
treatment, when walking into a show like Lockdown, how much power does a DOP have in the say of the kind of treatment of shooting the show? Do you have like do you come up with your ideas? Is it sort of the producers that decide? Is it the directors that decide, or is it collaborative?
So when I when I first went for a meeting about the show, and I met the director Mandla N, and he had been researching the show for 4 years. So he'd been on this for a long time, you know. So he already had an idea in mind of what he wanted to happen, you know. He shared his vision with the research, all the research that he'd been collecting over the years. And what I did then, I took that research and all that information that he'd given me, then I put it in TV or cinematic terms.
Okay.
So it was a very collaborative process, you know, because even with the actors, when they started coming on board and reading the scripts, it would be, how do you go? Okay, so he'd say, okay, this is what I'd like to achieve with the scene. So we would all just collaborate with each other, or we would put the camera with, you know, just again, like when you're shooting women that are naked in showers, you have to treat it a certain way.
Yeah.
You know? So it was very collaborative. Like all of it was very collaborative.
I remember when Lockdown first was announced to come out, Orange is the New Black had come out in the States. And it literally got a lot of slack in the beginning because they're like, not another one of these. Did you feel any pressure coming into a show like this, knowing that, you know, there's, I don't know, some would compare it to Orange is the New Black that already exists?
Honestly, I didn't. I had been a fan of Orange is the New Black. I'd watched all the seasons, but when I read the synopsis of Lockdown, I knew immediately, these are two very
Different shows.
different shows. You know, these are two very different shows. Americans have their own system of how they treat inmates, and South Africans we've got our own laws, we've got our own treatment. So I immediately I knew. I was like, yeah, because so part of the research that Mandla had done, and like he'd gotten pictures, lots and lots of pictures from inside of the real prisons and what they look like. Like just those pictures, I knew immediately. I was like, you know what? You can't even compare the two.
It's a different
Those
show.
guys are living large. Those guys are living large. That's like holiday comparing to what the South African prisons look like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And as a woman, obviously we have to, as I was doing my research, you know, it's and I was thinking, how do I reframe this? Because I was never going to introduce you as a female DOP. And there's a lot of, you know, articles that I read that sort of intro you as that and, you know, sort of, I don't know, highlight that, which for me, they shouldn't, because you don't say a female actor, you don't say a male DOP, you know, you say an actor, if you must, you say an actress. How do you feel about that being necessarily highlighted?
You know, for a very long time, I didn't like that. For the longest time, I was very opposed. I was like, no, like I'm not a female cinematographer. I'm a cinematographer. You know, and every time somebody would say that, I would correct them. You know, until a certain point, when like a fellow filmmaker was like, you know what it is. It's that if there aren't a lot of female cinematographers in the world, globally. You know, in South Africa, you are one of very few and of color. So that's fine. We can
Yes,
call you
Queen.
cinematographer. And it's like, she's like, it's cool. We can call you a cinematographer, and you can camouflage with the boys, and there won't be any difference. But guess what? You don't get paid the same as what male cinematographers get paid.
Yes.
You know, even the kind of work that I get versus like my male counterparts is very different. You know, and she made a very like important thing, Jorge. You have to be visible.
Yes.
For now, you have to be visible. You are one of, I can count 5 female cinematographers, and you are one of them, you know, in the entire Africa. So she's like, if you want to camouflage with them, camouflage. But Oksalayo, you must know that there is still a fight.
It's also bigger than you. I think it's bigger than just you and it being you highlighting. I think if we don't see a woman doing it, then I don't think women even think to do it. I don't know if that makes sense. You know, so if there's young girls who are, you can see it, therefore it is possible. It's called a So, you know, if we see it, we know that might just happen. And that's what you're doing for a lot of young women. I have no doubts, though, that there's many obstacles and many difficulties that come with being a female cinematographer. I've seen the difference in how a Black cinematographer, male even, is treated to a white cinematographer. I can't imagine what some of the difficulties you face on set being a female cinematographer, Black at that.
Yeah, no, there's there's been a lot of challenges. You know, there's been a lot of challenges. I think being from Johannesburg and working my way up in Joburg, in the Joburg film industry, TV and film, like people know me because, you know, they've seen me from the gate. They've seen me as a trainee. They've seen me as a loader, and I worked my way up.
Yeah.
You know, I was in like today, tomorrow, cinematographer, boom, out of. So there's been a lot of respect in that sense. You know, there are challenges when now and again you get somebody that does not know you or does not know your history or where you come from, and then they'll disrespect you because of gender. But that's a thing that South African, I mean, I'm sorry, but like a lot of South African men would do, like, or men generally, like even like globally, like, no, what's about Mustadi? What do you know about this? This is a male, it's a male profession, you know, and they would say that from the fact that also because I'm not like 2 meters tall, you know, like, oh,
welcome to the club.
159.
You're taller than me. Well, everyone knows.
I'm 159 and I've always been what's considered small.
Yeah.
So all those things from a physique point of view, they're like, no man, like, what are you doing? Don't even try. But what people don't realize that cinematography is not about how big or how masculine or it's really about your knowledge of lighting and camera and understanding characters and storytelling, which any gender can do.
Yes. Yes. Please, louder for those at the back. What in your opinion makes a great cinematographer? And who are some of your favorites?
Sure. For me, what makes a great cinematographer is somebody that can collaborate. Somebody that can collaborate with the team, like, because it's not a one, you know, it's not a one-man band. It's a team effort.
It's a dance.
Yeah, it's a dance. So if you can if you can collaborate with your production designer, and you can collaborate with your costume department and collaborate with makeup and actors, It makes the product fuller.
Mm.
You know, for me, a good cinematographer would take that as a skill and be able to take what's written, what the script writer has written, and take the director's vision and make it into and come alive, in moving picture.
All right, I'm going to wrap this up. My last question would be around young people who are, of course, watching this, who, want to be like you one day. What do I do? Where do I start?
So to aspiring filmmakers or cinematographers out there, the one thing that you guys have is the internet.
Yes.
When we started,
there was no such. The encyclopedia. You're still saying encyclopedia. If your room divider didn't have numbers 1 to 100, you weren't living the right life.
So I think do your research, I would say, first. We've got smartphones. Almost everybody has a smartphone, like finding out what a cinematographer does would be the first step.
Yes.
Would be the first step. Some people would fight me about this, but if you do have funds to go to school and get the theory side of it, if you have do it, because it's great to also surround yourself with the theory of how things came about. And lastly, like training and interning is the best way. That's how I came up.
Yeah.
I dropped out in my second year. I was like, okay, plus the fees are not the things, so let me just start training. And I started training, and I never looked back. And be inquisitive.
Yes. Gaopie, you are an absolute inspiration. We ask that you continue to reframe the SA industry. We love you for it, and we thank you for sharing your insights and your journey with us.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you. I hope my lighting didn't go too dark. I didn't anticipate.
Only now you want to ask about the lighting. If there's one thing that I think this episode, or hope that this episode did, was to enlighten you and to prove that it doesn't matter where it is that you come from, your dreams are in fact valid. I hope that, after this episode, just like with Gaopie after she went to the Fat Joe show, you might just change your mind about what career you want to get into. It doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter where you're from. It's never too late to follow your dreams. And I look forward to seeing a whole lot more cinematographers. I look forward to seeing a whole lot more Black cinematographers. And I look forward to seeing a whole lot more female cinematographers. And remember, if there's other fields within this beautiful television, film, and radio industry that you would like me to look into, just comment below. Let me know if there's a specific person you want me to speak to. I'd love to pick their brain on your behalf. And most importantly, share this with your friends. Share this with, the guys at school with you who are studying film, who are studying radio, who are studying TV, because, you can have all the theory in the world. You can't pay a price for human experience. Also, remember to press that subscribe button, and I will see you in 2 weeks' time. Bye.